영석아, 일어나. 영석아. 큰일 났다. 남자친구 앞이란다.
The boy, Young-seok, is instantly awake. He throws on his clothes in a panicked haze, fleeing from a professor's bed. On his way out, a stranger stops him. His heart leaps into his throat, expecting a confrontation. But the man is only pointing out an unzipped pocket on his backpack. Young-seok mutters a hurried apology and continues his escape. Later, when he and his own girlfriend bump into the professor on campus, she greets them both with a placid, professional smile, as if nothing ever happened between them. To her, he is just a plaything, a momentary diversion, and this strange, chaotic cycle has left him feeling profoundly empty and insecure. But one day, on a quiet street corner, he meets a girl who will change everything. She is on the ground, knocked from her wheelchair by a careless passerby. Young-seok helps her back up. She is a fortress of self-protection, her head buried deep inside her hoodie, unwilling to even make eye contact. And her wheelchair, the one tool that connects her to the outside world, is broken. He finds a cart and pushes her all the way home. A simple act of kindness, with no expectation. And as a gesture of thanks, she invites him to stay for dinner. Young-seok hesitates. The awkwardness of accepting a meal from a stranger, a disabled woman he's just met. It feels complicated, uncomfortable.
왜 그렇게 먹어? 독이라도 다 났을까 봐.
The girl gives him his space. And alone in the strange room, Young-seok finally lets his guard down and begins to eat. This simple, awkward meal marks the beginning of their story. He sees her grandmother, a woman who survives by collecting scraps, struggling to carry a heavy cabinet. Young-seok is a genuinely kind person, and he steps in to help without a second thought. But a deeper truth is also at play. He isn't just helping the grandmother, he's finding an excuse, another reason to see the girl again. There is something about her, a guarded mystery, that pulls him in, a world he wants to understand, and perhaps enter. So when he receives 2 gift boxes from his part-time job, his first thought is of her. He gives them both to her, brushing it off with a self-deprecating excuse that he doesn't cook, that at his home they would just go to waste, a clumsy but sincere offering.
쓰레기를 줘서 고맙다.
아니, 요리 잘하는 사람한테 필요할 것 같아가지고.
Ever since she was abandoned as a child, her world has been one of quiet darkness. She longs for all things passionate and beautiful, but she has long since lost the courage to pursue them, or even to touch them. It's why she hides inside her clothes. It's why she doesn't meet his gaze. And so, in her loneliness, she has created her own world. She has learned the art of drinking, falling in love with the sophisticated escape of whiskey, able to discern its age and origin from a single sniff of a discarded bottle. And most importantly, she has learned to read. The old, abandoned books her grandmother collects are her most precious treasures. In their pages, she converses with masters, empathizes with heroes and villains, and builds a world so rich and vast that her own small, barren reality almost disappears. Josée finishes a book she adores, only to find that it's just the first volume, the story incomplete. So Young-seok takes it upon himself to find the second half. He spends days searching every library in the city, combing through dusty bookshelves, until, finally, he returns with the missing volume. And with that one, small, determined act, their relationship deepens into something subtle and unspoken. He becomes a regular guest in her home, and with his presence, her small gray world begins to fill with color. Even a broken hole in her wall is now overflowing with vibrant, bustling flowers. One day, seeing a travel magazine in her hands, he asks her a simple question. Is there anywhere in the world you'd like to go? For a connoisseur of whiskey like Josée, the answer is obvious. Scotland. And so, on a simple cell phone screen, they begin their first journey together. A digital pilgrimage to the mysterious Scottish Highlands, searching, in a land of pixels, for their perfect, imaginary bar. The next day, he takes her to the park, a simple date beneath a shower of falling autumn leaves. The unspoken feelings between them are now impossible to hide. But their peaceful bubble is about to be burst by the intrusion of the outside world. Young-seok's entire mindset begins to shift. He actively avoids his professor. When he tells his girlfriend about Josée, he edits the story, downgrading Josée from the focus to a mere side note, a subconscious act of self-protection. The worlds inevitably collide when his girlfriend, a volunteer at the local welfare office, sees Josée for the first time. Not the old woman he described, but a young, striking woman. No words are exchanged, but the damage is done. And Josée, with her sharp, sensitive intuition, understands immediately. She pushes him away, attempting to sever their connection before it can grow deeper, before it can truly hurt. Better to part ways now, she reasons, than to end up covered in scars. In the weeks they spend apart, Young-seok's carefully constructed life unravels. His girlfriend breaks up with him, a breakup that feels less like a tragedy and more like an overdue, quiet conclusion. His professor, scorned, uses her influence to sabotage a job opportunity he was counting on. And then, one cold morning, he learns that José's grandmother has passed away. She is now completely alone. He knows he shouldn't go, but he can't stay away. Their reunion is cautious, distant. He, driven by a deep, protective concern, tries to fix the broken things in her house. A cracked window, a faulty doorknob. But she doesn't see care. She hears pity, and his concern, meant to bridge the gap, only feels like an insult to her fierce, fragile pride.
입밖에 나를 왜 동정해?
아니 그게 무슨...
불편하다고 한 말 기억 안 나? 네가 불편하다고 했잖아.
He wants to get closer. But the kinder he is, the more painful and conflicted she feels. Because to let him in would be to fall in love. And how can she possibly allow herself to love a man when she believes a future for them is impossible? The wall she built around herself is now reinforced with anger. Overwhelmed, she begs him, pleads with him, to leave and never come back. He walks away into the night, as the first snow of winter begins to silently fall. In the swirling snowflakes, he can't help but look back, one last time, and his unspoken reluctance is finally answered. She comes rushing out after him, a reckless, desperate surrender. No words are spoken, none are needed. The story of her breaking heart is written in the tear tracks that stain her weary face.
가지 마.
계속 옆에 있을게.
Could you stop this night? Stop time to keep it like this forever. Oh, could you stop this night? Stop time to keep it like this forever. In a night like this.
With her walls finally down, Josée confesses her truth, that she loves him, that with him, for the first time in a long time, she is happy. And so, he moves in. An unusual cold snap sweeps across the country, a strange chill for early winter. But inside their small, book-filled fortress, there is only warmth. Josée finds herself staring at the familiar broken hole in her wall. But this time, through the opening, she sees something impossible. A tiger, standing silently in the world outside her window. She is mesmerized, captivated, until Young-seok pulls her back to reality.
호랑이? 이 시간에 여기서?
호랑이.
The tiger, Josée explains, is not an animal. It is a metaphor, a ferocious embodiment of her deepest fears. It is the world's prejudice, the pressure from strangers, and her own constant anxiety about a future she cannot see. But if the tiger ever does break in, she says, I won't be afraid. Because I have you. Young-seok admits he can't promise to defeat it, but he makes a simpler, more profound promise. He will let the tiger eat him first, giving her time to run. It is a promise of absolute devotion, at least for now. They enjoy a few rare, beautiful days of blissful, ordinary life. Until one afternoon, she hands him a pregnancy test. It isn't positive, but the test itself serves as a cold, practical reminder. Being together is more than just poetry and shared books. It is about a future, about diapers and doctors and mortgages. It is about the heavy weight of real, inescapable problems. Problems that love alone might not be enough to solve. The winter cold arrives, just as predicted. They escape into the digital warmth of a panoramic map, traveling to faraway lands without ever leaving their bed. But a quiet melancholy begins to seep into Josée's heart. On the map, she sees a street view of her own grandmother, a ghost captured in time, a reminder of all that has been lost. To escape the feeling, she asks to ride a Ferris wheel. In the cold, desolate amusement park, they are the only passengers. They hold hands, suspended between the frozen earth and the night sky. The ride is short, and it feels like a lifetime. When they land, Josée quietly jams the door, a desperate act to steal just a few more seconds alone with him, to stop time from moving forward. Later, at the aquarium, surrounded by the drifting grace of the fish, she asks a profound question. From a fish's point of view, who is the one that is truly trapped inside? And then she wonders aloud, if in their own glass-walled world, there are happy fish too. A question, it seems, she is also asking about herself.
이제 괜찮아. 외롭지 않아. 네가 내 옆에 없다고 해도 난 네가 옆에 있는 걸로 생각할 거야. 그러니까 괜찮아.
무슨 그런 말도 안 되는 소리.
And for one last, beautiful moment, they walk together through the dreamlike landscapes of Scotland and sit by a quiet shore, watching the evening sea. It is perfect.
대단하다. 대단해.
It isn't real. There was no Scotland. There was no whiskey tour. There was no heroic, grand adventure. There was only a season, a short, fragile, unforgettable season, of two lonely people who found, in each other, a temporary refuge, a moment of mutual salvation. And their love story, like a photograph from a dream, is forever frozen in that one, perfect, fleeting time. So what is the legacy of a love that was never meant to last? It is not found in a shared future, or a happily ever after. It is found in the permanent shifts it leaves within us. For him, she was an escape from an empty, conventional world. A brief, brilliant season of feeling something real. But for her, for a girl who had built a fortress of books and lies to hide from the world's pity. He was the one who dared to walk inside. He was not a hero. He was just a kind boy who saw her, not her disability. He did not save her from her life. He simply showed her that her life was worth living on her own terms, that she was worthy of being seen, worthy of being loved. And in the end, perhaps he didn't leave her with a broken heart. Perhaps he left her with a key to a door she had long ago sealed shut, a door that leads back to the world.